It was a very profitable scam. Brokers some big deals in the transport business, hire subcontractors to do the work, and then hold on to all the cash. Well, that was the modus operandi of this transport middleman until Devi Sankari Governor got on the road to investigate.
Over 456 billion rands worth of goods gets moved across South African roads every year. The transport industry is big business and a lot of people want in on the action, opening the door to corruption.
There are many role players, clients, transporters and middlemen who are also known as brokers. And it's these brokers who are often at the center of dodgy deals.
I actually did the work and never got paid for that.
We didn't get paid.
There's in excess of 90% at least of the money's outstanding.
All three of these businessmen dealt with transport broker Elsie Labuskaghni from Bella Bella in Limpopo. Their losses total over 3.1 million. They are not the only ones that appear to have been conned by Elsie, says private investigator Chad Thomas. He investigated her in 2015.
We found that our client was one of literally dozens of people who had been taken. All the people that came forward had the same story to tell. They had lost a lot of money, they were all subcontractors and they were all supplying a transport service.
Chad says the modus operandi is pretty basic.
She would go to a company or an organization requiring transport. She would come in at a very good rate. She would then farm it out to a subcontractor at a higher rate. She would never have ever been in a position to settle everybody.
Charles Oberholzer was contracted by Elsie Labuskaghni in 2014. His company transported loads for her over a period of 3 months.
She made a couple of very small, insignificant payments to us, even though by that time she was owing in the millions.
The cargo owners were big reputable companies. He says there was no reason to doubt Elsie.
The paperwork seemed to be legitimate. Even the people we dealt with on ground level were all legitimate people.
But when payments weren't forthcoming for the work done, Charles pulled his trucks off site.
When you stopped the trucks, what did she have to say?
She just basically disappears. There's not any question of why are you stopping the trucks. It's as if she expects it.
We've chased Elsie Labuskaghni to Bella Bella. We hear that she's lying very low, but I'm going to try and find her.
After checking some of the addresses listed for Elsie, we eventually got her on the phone.
Do you think I'm in Bella Bella as well?
Yeah, no, I know you're in Bella Bella.
No, I'm not in Bella Bella.
Strike one, Elsie. Realizing we were onto her, she agreed to meet us.
Why did you lie to me when I knew you were here?
Because there were so many people that say they're from carte blanche and they're from this and this and this.
Elsie, there are a lot of people who are very unhappy with you, and they say that as a transport broker, you defrauded them and you owe them a lot of money, in some cases millions.
There's no such thing that I'm owing them millions.
Strike two, Elsie. We called 19 transporters who claimed they've collectively lost over 20 million rands in jobs done through Elsie. Some dating back to 2008. Many have left the transport industry unable to recover from the financial loss. But Elsie claimed it's not her fault. She's also owed a lot of money.
On the majority of her contracts, she was in fact paid. She sent us correspondence where she was claimed to be owed about 2.5 million rand in a particular contract. What about all the other money that should have come in?
In Charles' case, although she is owed some money, bank statements show that Elsie actually received 1.1 million for the services rendered by Charles' company.
Did you get money from anybody for any of the work that was done by Charles Oberholzer?
Yes, I did.
How much did you get?
That I have to tell you in total. It was about, I would say, 1 million.
Charles' claim is that you only paid him 265,000.
No, we paid him more.
A claim she couldn't prove. Collecting money from clients and not paying subcontractors in full seems to be a pattern for Elsie. In July, transporter Norman Luwanda and logistics project manager Pierre Brink both had contracts in Rustenburg through Elsie's company. When payment wasn't forthcoming, they both stopped sending their trucks.
I spoke to the client. He sent me the proof of payments, as well as the invoices that Elsie has sent to him. And that was when I made the calculation that the rate is completely off, because her invoices was significantly lower than what mine was.
It would appear that Elsie was inflating rates to draw in transporters.
The client indicated that he had never agreed to pay Elsie 220 per ton. At that point in time, again, that I realized that there was something that was not right here, because there was no way that Elsie was going to pay the difference for the client if the client was offering 175.
A number of other victims all say they were offered inflated rates by Elsie as well.
But why would anybody offer a deal like that? Paying out more than you were getting in. It just doesn't make any business sense.
Elsie claimed the shortfall would come from her 30% commission.
Even if you work on 30% of the total value of the deal, you still would not have been able to pay that difference.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
You would offer enticing deals where they couldn't say no.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
In Norman's case, he supplied delivery notes and invoiced for 34,000 rands. Elsie paid 16,000 of that upfront.
And there is communication that she sent via email to confirm that she had received my invoice and she was working on it. And as soon as she received payment from her client, she would go ahead and pay me.
In Norman's case, did you get your money?
I didn't get all my money, no.
Strike 3, Elsie. This is proof of payment from the client that paid her for the work done by Norman.
Did you or didn't you get paid?
Yeah, I got paid. Here it is.
So where's Norman's money?
No, it's still on my account.
Ah, Elsie.
I'll pay it over.
What is wrong? Why are you lying?
No,
why when I ask you, you give me one answer and then I'm showing you proof, then you give me another answer? Why are you doing
Can I
this?
explain to you? You know why I'm scared to open this? It's because of people. We in 2010 were involved with guys that came to our offices with revolvers that wanted to shoot us because people never paid us.
How is that Norman's problem?
No, it's not Norman's problem. That's an old case.
Chad says Elsie Labuskachny presented similar irrelevant excuses before.
She first advised us that she had medical problems, and then when that didn't work, she came with the story that she was a victim in a conspiracy where other transport companies were trying to force her out the industry. So Elsie played the victim all along.
While Elsie tried that with us as well, she couldn't get around the facts. In Pierre's case, Elsie was paid at least 40,000 rands. She in turn only paid him 25 of the 145,000 rands invoiced. This is the invoice she sent through to the client. Note the VAT charged by Elsie.
Are you charging that?
Yes, I do.
You're charging that?
Yeah.
Under Concordia?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I thought it's going to be, it's not right.
Elsie, does Concordia have a VAT number?
They're busy now with them, but no, not yet.
Okay, then just explain to me, what is this? And that VAT amount there.
Oh, that's my mistake.
Are you crazy?
Yes.
That's fraud.
Oh, no.
Elsie has already had a run-in with the law. She was found guilty of fraud in a different matter in 2008.
You don't think you've got a fraud problem?
I've got, yeah, that seems to be, I've got a fraud problem. But now the people are taking that. You know, they make a big thing about it and say, Elsie's got one fraud account, one fraud thing against her. Now she's always having fraud. She's always doing the wrong thing.
But you don't think you're proving it by yourself?
Yeah, I think so.
But getting the authorities to prove it is proving difficult. In 2015, Charles opened a criminal case with the Commercial Crimes Unit in Pretoria, but the state advocate dealing with the case steered him in a different direction.
He told us that he felt that this was a civil matter. He actually nolly prosecuted the case and refused to prosecute.
The civil case against Elsie and the company she claimed to be operating would shed new light on her dodgy dealings. She was not a director of the company, and the bank account she used to invoice on behalf of the business was in fact in her personal name.
We found that the accounts were empty, that there were no assets registered on her name.
There is a point when a civil case becomes criminal, and it seems Elsie Labuskachny may have crossed that line.
It's a very clear case of fraud, which should give rise to a criminal case.
Attorney Andile Nkani says this could fly as a criminal case.
It's not a once-off incident where one can claim a mistake. And if you look at the facts, not any way is she claiming that the work was never done. The work was done. She simply doesn't pay, which shows right from the beginning that she had what the court would define to be a willful perversion of the truth.
The criminal case has been reopened. When Elsie eventually ran out of excuses, she turned on the waterworks.
So are they picking on you?
Yeah, they're picking on me.
We've spoken to 19 people, all of whom have the same story.
It's not true. There was a Lenny de Prier that started with this, and she actually sent me an email and said, I would like to see you in jail.
She's absolutely right. A lot of people want to see her behind bars.
What would you like to see happen?
For her to be locked away for a very, very long time. And you're going to be protecting South Africa by doing that. I think Elsie Labuschagne, what I see is only the tip of the iceberg.